The AK-47 Overview and Origins. The AK-47, officially known as the Atomic Kalashnikov as Russian Kombadu, or Kalashnikov's automatic rifle, is a gas-operated 7.62 by 39 assault rifle developed in the Soviet Union by Mikhail Kalashnikov. Designed in 1947, it was officially accepted by the Soviet Armed Forces in 1949 and is the originating firearm of the widely recognized Kalashnikov or AK family of rifles. The AK-47 and its variants are globally popular due to their legendary reliability under harsh conditions, relatively low production cost, widespread availability, and ease of use. As of the early 21st century, it is estimated that approximately 100 million firearms belong to the Kalashnikov family, with 3/4 of those being the original AK-47 and its direct variants. The genesis of the AK-47 is rooted in World War II. Soviet forces were highly impressed by the German Stoarm Gewehr 44 SG-4 Ford, a select fire rifle chambered for the new 7.92 by 33 Kurs intermediate cartridge. This weapon effectively combined the high rate of fire of a submachine gun with the range and accuracy of a traditional rifle. This observation spurred the Soviet Union to immediately begin developing its own intermediate caliber and subsequent weapon. This led to the development of the 7.62 by 39 M43 cartridge, which was first used in the SKS carbine and RPD light machine gun, but ultimately became synonymous with the AK-47. The new weapon was intended to replace both the obsolete Mosin Nagant bolt action rifles and the PPSH-41 submachine guns. Design and development history. Mikhail Kalashnikov began his weapon design career in 1941 while recuperating from a wound sustained during the Battle of Bryansk. Kalashnikov's stated motivation was to create a reliable weapon for the common soldier. The AK-47 is frequently described as a hybrid of existing innovations, combining the best features of weapons like the American M1 Garand, known for its reliable gas system, and the German CG-44, known for its configuration and intermediate cartridge concept. Kalashnikov entered a design competition in 1944 with a semi-automatic carbine that was significantly influenced by the M1 Garand. Though that design lost, he returned in a 1946 competition with a fully automatic gas-operated rifle. Early prototypes of this new weapon, sometimes referred to as the AK-46, featured a short stroke gas piston, a 2-part receiver, dual controls, separate safety and fire selector, and a non-reciprocating charging handle on the left side. A major redesign, proposed by Kalashnikov's assistant Alexander Zaitsev to improve reliability, resulted in the final prototypes completed in late 1947 AK-47. This final version featured a long stroke gas piston above the barrel, a simplified one-piece receiver, and the selector and safety mechanism combined into a single, large lever dust cover on the right side. This simplification was key to the rifle's eventual ease of production and use. After rigorous trials, it was adopted by the Soviet Army in 1949. Production difficulties in the AKM. The initial phase of production was plagued by difficulties. The first production models, Type 1, used a stamped sheet metal receiver. Problems encountered in welding the guide and ejector rails led to high rejection rates. To salvage production, the Soviets temporarily switched to a heavier, more costly milled receiver, Type 2 and later Type 3, made from steel forging and bar stock, respectively. This stopgap measure utilized existing tooling for the Mosin Nagant rifle. It wasn't until 1956 that the rifle was distributed in large numbers to soldiers. The manufacturing problems with stamped receivers were eventually resolved, leading to the introduction of the AK-Mens Avtomat Kalashnikova Modernizirovanny, or modernized Kalashnikov automatic rifle, in 1959. The AKM used a perfected stamped sheet metal receiver, Type 4, making it roughly 1/3 lighter than the milled AK-47. It also introduced a slanted muzzle brake at the end of the barrel to compensate for muzzle rise during automatic fire. A hammer retarder is often called a rate reducer to prevent out of battery firing and slightly reduce the cyclic rate of fire. The AKM, being easier and cheaper to manufacture, became the most ubiquitous variant of the entire AK series and the design most widely licensed and copied abroad. While the milled receiver rifles are technically the true AK-47s, the name is often colloquially used in the West and parts of Asia to refer to any rifle in the 7.62 by 39 Kalashnikov family. Including the AKM technical specifications and design features, the AK-47 was deliberately designed for simplicity, reliability, and mass production. Cartridge and operating mechanism. The rifle is chambered for the 7.62 by 39 intermediate cartridge, which provides a balance of effective range and manageable recoil. The rifle's operation is based on a gas-operated, long-stroke piston system combined with a closed rotating bolt. The long-stroke piston is a primary factor in the weapon's renowned reliability, as the entire heavy operating rod assembly moving in a straight line provides significant momentum to overcome dirt, debris, or falling within the action. This design contributes to wide tolerances between moving parts, which further enhances its ability to function in adverse conditions. Fire selector and sights. The AK's fire selector is a large lever located on the right side of the receiver. It serves three functions. Safety. Top position. This locks the bolt carrier, prevents the trigger from being pulled, and, most importantly, acts as a dust cover to seal the gap between the receiver cover and the receiver itself, protecting the internal mechanism from dirt. Full auto. Middle position. Permits continuous firing as long as the trigger is held and ammunition remains. The cyclic rate of fire is approximately 600 rounds per minute, with a practical rate around 100 rounds per minute. Semi-auto, sub-bottom position, allows for single shots. The practical rate is about 40 rounds per minute. The AK-47 typically uses adjustable iron sights. The rear sight is a tangent leaf style, adjustable from 100 to 800 meters. The front sight is a hooded adjustable post. The effective firing range for combat is generally considered to be around 350 meters. Magazines and accessories. The standard feed system is a 30-round detachable box magazine, though 20-round box, 40-round box, and 75-round drum magazines are also available. Early-issue magazines were made of heavy steel, while later models and those for the AKM and its successors were made from stamped steel, light alloy, and eventually plastic polymer, greatly reducing the rifle's overall weight. Accessories included the bayonets such as the 6H3 bayonet, which attached to a lug under the front sight base. Modern AK variants, particularly those based on the AKM, can mount under barrel 40mm grenade launchers like the GP-20 which fire fragmentation or jumping, bursting grenades. Later models also feature a side rail for mounting optical devices, such as the PSO-1 scope, allowing optics to be attached and detached without losing zeroing. Service life variants and global impact, service life and reliability. The AK-47 was designed to be a cheap, simple, and disposable rifle, aligning with Soviet military doctrine that sometimes treated equipment as expendable assets. This made it more cost-effective for units with inadequate logistical support to replace a weapon rather than repair it, often relying on battlefield cannibalization. While famed for its reliability, the AK-47 is not indestructible. Its service system life is generally considered to be between 6,000 and 15,000 rounds before major components or springs require replacement. K variants. The AK family includes numerous variants, both Russian-designed and foreign. Produced a AK-47 version of the milled receiver AK-47 featuring a downward under-folding metal stock, intended for use by airborne troops and vehicle crews. It came in the modernized, lighter version with a stamped receiver and a slanted muzzle brake. This is the base for the most common AK variants globally. AKM is the under-folding stock version of the AKM, RPNA squad automatic weapon or light machine gun variant based on the AKM. Featuring a longer, heavier barrel and a bipod designed to provide sustained automatic fire replacement. The Soviet Union began replacing the AK-47 and AKM in 1974 with the newer AK-74, which was chambered for smaller, high-velocity 5.45 39mm cartridge. This change was largely to align with the emerging trend of smaller caliber, lighter weight ammunition exemplified by the U.S. A 5.56mm cartridge. Users and cultural influence. The AK-47 has been manufactured in dozens of countries, with quality varying wildly from finely engineered weapons to ones of questionable workmanship. Foreign variants, countless licensed and unlicensed copies exist. The most notable are the Chinese Type 56 and 63, the Polish PMK KBKK, and the Yugoslavian Zastava M70 series. It has been used by armed forces in over 100 countries and has been the signature weapon for numerous non-state actors, liberation movements, insurgents, and militias worldwide. Its illicit trade is massive, making it the most recognized and prevalent assault rifle in modern conflicts. Cultural impact. The AK-47 has achieved a unique status as a symbol of resistance, revolution, and liberation, as well as being a staple of conflict and insurgency. It is featured prominently on the flag and coat of arms of Mozambique, and appears in the national emblems of other states and non-state groups. Its simplicity and ubiquity have made it an icon of the 20th and 21st centuries.